Morning everyone, Barney here, Barsan Homestead. Last night Sandy and I were working around the yard out here and pruning things up. Here, I'll give you a little look. So just, we're building this homestead and we have not got lawns and stuff in yet, but the grass just keeps growing and growing. This is just a little part here, and of course that foliage keeps growing in. Last night, I ran it out of string. It's just a still weed eater. And I ran it out of string and filled it up. You've probably seen 100 weed eater videos and you've done it yourself numerous times. But I put the string back in and it would not let string out after. It worked for a little bit and then it just, I'd say, jammed and it wouldn't let it out. So I want to show you here exactly what I found, and I believe I'm down to the culprit here. I went on YouTube and tried to find a couple videos. Is there anything there? There's still some string left on this. I thought I lost that spring. I went to bed and I usually mull things around, and the Lord speaks to me and tells me what to look for. And I thought it was that spring. And then, of course, if it was in here, when you push in, it lets string out and it wouldn't push back. But that wasn't the culprit. The spring was there this morning when I came and looked around. Nope, spring is there and everything. So here's what I want to show you. And I think this will be the culprit. I have not completed yet. But the first thing I did was pop off the face cover. That would be on your weed eater like so, with the other part in the middle. And of course you get in here and you clean out all the dirt and debris and grass and whatever. I mean, it's got a dust dirt on there yet, but it's fine. It's all clean. On this piece, I believe, is where I found the issue. Down inside there, see those grooves, those notches? They slide down in and go up against, just on this shaft here. They just go up against that, but it has to go in far enough. And I believe what was happening is deep down inside of there, the dirt had built up all the way around that spring. If you were to go all the way around that spring, let me see if I can put this down to give you a little better look. So down inside of there, right in around this spring, I'm going to try and blow this up a little. There we go. You can see the little grooves. These were full of dirt. And then all the way around this spring, at the far end, it's solid. And I started thinking, well, I got to get that dirt out of those grooves, and I started picking, and way down in the bottom there, it was like a half an inch thick. And you can see on this side, that hole in the center wasn't there. And I just started to pick those guys out. So I'll just shut the camera off for a sec. I'll clean those out, we'll put it on, and we'll see if it works. But something I never knew, and I couldn't find it on any videos, but that's probably the culprit. There was so much dirt in there, built up, that when you push on it, it rides up against this, and it wouldn't allow it to go down to let the string out, or to go up in. It wouldn't allow it to push in like this, and then your spring would push it back out once some string went out. It wouldn't allow it to do it because of the dirt in there. So I'll shut this off and we'll give it a try. Okay, I just used a small screwdriver. Let me see, I'll put this against the C-can door. There is what it's supposed to look like. Opens all little openings, little triangle openings there all the way around. And I just used a small screwdriver. And that's cleaned out in there now. But I'm going to guess that's what the culprit was. And those are actually there, those grooves, to let the dirt out. But I must have gotten in a little muddy section or something, and then it got healed in there. Okay, we'll pop her back in now. In. Turn it counterclockwise. Hook it back in. Take the string, bring it around, lock it in, pop this one out of its little groove, bring it around. Come on, there we go, and lock it in. Grab our cap, now we've got it cleaned out. Pop her back in there. Should work now. Okay, so I popped it back together here, everyone. You can see the end is all back on. And I've got all that dirt out of there. And I think that's what the problem was, because that spring was still in there this morning. So I'll just fire it up here now, and we'll give it the try and find out if that's what it actually was. So we know it's cutting. The string is not hitting. I'll tap it and we'll see if it'll come out. There it was. You could hear it come out and then cut the string off.
Ow!
There she goes again.
Ow!
The string even came off, so the shot's empty in the leg. Always wear rubber boots when you're filming.
And full
Anyway,
guard.
So hopefully that's of use to you.
Yes, it was abuse to me.
Of use to you. And it's coming and it's working good. I also took this little guard off right here that cuts the string, the little blade. And I did take this off. It's a Torex T25. And I put it in the vise. And on the back side here, it's angled on a 45, the edge. You can't see it. But they angle it with a, and I just took a file and sharpened it. So it cuts the string at your perfect length as it comes around once it releases out of the machine. And the last thing I did was, there's a shaft that runs inside this pipe up to the motor. And at this end right here, behind this bolt, right in there, it's a greasable head. And I don't know why they don't just put a grease nipple on it, but they don't. So it's a light grease. So all I did was crack the nut. It's a Torex or a 1/2 wrench fit right on. And I just took and put my grease gun up there, and it actually took about 3 pumps. So it fills this little head up. I felt yesterday it was just a little bit warm. Like barely warm. But I mean, I'm sure it gets warm when you're using it. But now it's all lubed back up. I took that off, put about 3 pumps of grease in there. And I just held my nozzle of the grease gun there against that as tight as I could, and filled it up. When I first took that bolt out, I looked in there and it was grease right to the end of the bolt. But then I took a little screwdriver and just touched it, and that's all it was a little piece of grease. The rest of it was gone in here. There was nothing there. So that's why it took in 3 pumps of grease. So hopefully that'll help you guys. If your weed eater won't let the string out. It was news to me. But those little holes are very important on the bottom, I guess. And that's where it had filled right full of mud in there, and it wouldn't allow this to go in like so. Wouldn't allow it to go in to release those string. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. God bless.